Objective today is to share with you the principles that are market tested, market proven. Whether you are an agent that's growing a team, or you are a broker, owner, manager, or recruiter, here's the one thing that you've got to know is all these principles that I share with you are universal. If you're an agent that's joining this and you're considering growing a team, I think the exciting thing that you're going to see is it's all the same. We've got the internet empowered consumer, okay, and there's specific human behavior that's involved there. Well, we have the internet empowered recruit. The bottom line is we're all human beings, and what we're talking about ultimately is the customer journey. What I'm going to drill down into, though, are, gosh, I think here, aging myself, since 1995. This has been my craft. It is something that I continue to learn in and apply. And the greatest part about it is I've been able to work with thousands of leaders, leaders of teams, leaders of large organizations, in partnership with them, because that's how I see it. They ultimately do the work, and we bounce things off each other, and some great results. And so I'm going to take you through what are my top 10. And I had to put a script down here because I can, just we could be here until like I miss my flight tomorrow night to Texas. And so I've got to kind of restrain myself. Really, what I want to do, though, is make it very interactive towards the end. And I've got a really cool download that you'll really like. And it takes the ultimate recruiting blueprint, the one that those that I have worked with, the one that I've implemented time and again, the one that people are implementing today that are getting the results that I'm going to share with you, okay? So you'll be able to download that a little bit later on in the presentation. So with that said, I think we should get going here. Who have we got? Michael Meyer, Heather, my buddy Joe Stump. Hey, Joe. I got to tell you, this is a great way to start, and then we'll get into it. Um, 24 years ago, I was a real estate agent just getting started, and there was a seminar. I lived in Gig Harbor, Washington, and was selling real estate there, and didn't know what I was doing. And I went to a Joe Stump seminar at South Center at some convention center there, and so, it's very interesting because I didn't have Facebook. I don't think I had a website, but I left and actually took action. I think I shared this story with Joe, and anyone that's followed Joe for many years, I know that if you start with Joe, you stay with Joe. He's such a great human being. But he had this little postcard, it was called the Next Time postcard. And on the front of the postcard, it said Next Time. And I think on the back side, it says, you need a real estate agent, call John. I had a dot matrix printer. So here's what my day looked like as a real estate agent. No, I'm not a repackager. I actually sold real estate, and I went out and led organizations. And so my assistant would put 200 flyers, the I Am Wonderful flyer, a free market analysis. And there were days that I'd put on my rain gear. And many days, because I live in the Pacific Northwest, I'm actually out here on Whidbey Island as we speak. And I would, how I would map out those 200 doors that I was going to knock is we would look at where the highest concentration of expired listings were. And so I would get those addresses, and then I would pick that area. And here's the really cool thing that would happen is I would knock my doors and I would run into the expired listing. And so at the same time, by default, if you hit 200 doors a day, you're going to run into FSBOs. So I didn't even have to call FSBOs, and I was one of the very few that either had the guts or was foolish enough to knock on the door of the FSBOs. And so then I'd come back to the office and generating leads, and I'd deal with clients or whatever I had, and then I would make 100 cold calls every single night. I mean, tech savvy? No way. I think my mom let me borrow one of those brick phones, and I thought it was like the most epic thing on the planet. I mean, it was just amazing. But Joe, you threw me off there, but I think a really good reason. So let's get started. Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm going to share with you is many of you know me, and some of you don't. And so I don't know that a bio is really important. I think what's really important for you to know is what I'm going to share with you is market tested, market proven. Number one, I was a branch manager. I was a regional manager. I was fortunate enough to be around people that shared transferred skill sets to me I listened. I've hung around a long time, and I was fortunate to get some really good results. Today, here we fast forward. I was 21 when I got in the real estate business, and I think it was 24 years ago that I got into leadership. 23 or 24 years ago, I got into leadership, and I listened real closely. And what I came to understand was this, and where I think it worked out real well for me, and it is one of the most critical pieces that you need to know. And this is going right into our top 10. I'll save number one, okay, for the very end. But I recognized right out of the gates when I got into leadership, I was no longer in the real estate business. I was in the human resource, human development, human attraction, human behavior business. Period. I understood also that those principles that I used, prospect on a daily basis, present, demonstrate your value to the consumer, allow them to choose to work with you or not, and then to follow up. Well, the principles are the exact same in this recruiting thing. And see, you know, we can step outside the real estate industry, and here's what I would say. No matter what industry you're in, we're all in the enrollment business. I personally wasn't fond of being a salesman, and maybe that's hypocritical, I don't know, but I would say this, I was never very comfortable with it. And what I really wanted to do from the outset, and I came to recognize, is it wasn't really about a sales process, okay? It was a trust building process. And let me share with you, and this isn't, again, I'm fortunate enough to ride along with these folks and work directly with them, but I want to share with you, because we're talking about these principles that I'm going to give to you that you can take and put into action immediately. But I want to share with you 4 examples of real life human beings, real people, okay, that have taken these and put them into action. And by the way, at the end of this live cast, if you would like to contact them and talk to them, I'd encourage it, because the really neat thing, and it's kind of, you know, how I work, and it's not that I'm special, but I choose to walk a path where I work with people that I want to work with. And it's a neat thing. I work with people that I want to work with, and the people that I am so privileged to work with are abundant. And so I say that to you when I share these statistics with you, that, you know, if you have some curiosity and you want to chat with them, not that you want to verify, but if you want to chat with them, they'll be happy to share with you. So here's some interesting statistics for those of you that want to build a team, okay? 2 months ago, a person recruiting for a team, 18 recruits in 1 month. 1 month. Number 2, another team, and this gentleman actually happens to be on the call. He had 6 agents when we started working together. In 6 months, he grew his team to 24 agents. Okay, and again, I'm going to share with you the principles. They did the work. Does everyone that works with me get this result? Can I promise that you will? No, because I'm not working with you. So I don't know how you work. I don't know your commitment levels, but I'm sharing with you direct results from people that have applied these principles. Another example here, you'll love this. A startup brokerage firm, and it was beautiful. And this isn't a shameless plug, I'm just telling you how they came to us. We have a recruiting software platform. And they purchased the software platform, and our staff said to them, okay, what address should we put on your website? And they said, well, we don't know. We don't have an office yet. Well, what we knew is they were committed. Listen to this. They went from 0 to 72 agents in 12 months. Startup, independent brokerage, 1,400 closings. 1,400 closing. I'll share another one with you. From 200 agents to 600 agents in 3 years, and now recognized as an Inc. 500 fastest growing company. And I've been fortunate enough to work with the #1 brokerage in the United States of America, independent brokerage, and the #1 brokerage in Canada have been my clients for 3+ years. And so what it tells me is I'm fortunate to associate with very committed human beings, very committed leaders, but we've got something that works here. So let's jump right in. So the number one thing you've got to come to understand is this is, especially if you're, whether you're a leader or an office or a company, I mean, it's the human experience business. I mean, the first thing that I did, and again, I've been very fortunate to apply myself to many of the great coaches and trainers and leaders in our industry, and I encourage it. And I tell people, get a coach, and that isn't a plug for me. I mean, just get a coach. I have three coaching calls, okay, that I have. But so the thing is what you've got to understand is it is so critical not to stay just channeled into this real estate mindset. You've got to step outside of it. All of the people that I work with are outside of the business. I'm not discouraging you, okay, from the coaches that are in the industry. They're epic. They've taught me. I mean, many of them have paved the way and given me an opportunity. But what we need to do is understand it's the human behavior business. It's not the real estate business. You have a team. Listen, you know how to generate leads. You know how to convert leads. Many times with the large teams I work with, they'll share this with me. I have so many leads, I don't know what to do with them. Right, because that's not what it's all about. It's about human resource. The asset in our industry is human beings, period. So know that and approach it. Whether you're running a real estate office, company, or a team, okay, you're in the human experience business. Here's the biggie. This is where people fall down. This is number 3. Now, how did I go from the first one to number 3? Well, because I skipped number 1. We're going to come back to that one. You lead with money. And I love this debate. And it's ongoing and it will continue on. And here's what you need to know. The people that join you because of money are going to leave you because of money. The people that join you because of money will leave you because of money. There has never been enough money in a relationship to keep it together. That's just, again, human behavior. That's not some real estate dialogue. That's life. There is never enough money. So here's what you need to understand. When you contextualize the relationship, and if you're interviewing, you're communicating, you're following up, when being salesy and trying to maneuver around, that's not impressive. It's really not. What's impressive is strength of leadership, letting people know that, sharing with them, here's a perspective you might consider. Do you believe in investment return in other areas of your life? Well, of course. I mean, I hope they do. I mean, if they don't, that's probably not a good business person. See, that's what it's all about. It's not about the money. And I know there's people shaking their head, you're wrong. And I'd say, okay, good. So if you have a team right now, okay, or if you have an office, let me ask you this. Could every one of your agents get a better deal right now? If you're an agent right here, could you get a better deal right now? Everyone could. People ask me the question, what's your favorite model? John, is it the cap? Is it the split? Is it the fee? Is it the revenue share? Is it 30% on a crescent moon and a low tide? Just kidding. And I say this, you know what? Don't tell anyone this because this would be suicide if I told you who I was partial to. Okay, all right. The best business model in the real estate industry is the leadership model. Period. Period. That's it. End of discussion. People join a leader or leave a leader. Let's go back to human behavior, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, okay? Love, recognition, belonging. I mean, agents aren't Martians, they're human beings. So the beauty of it is we can go into human behavior and look at what's law. I mean, that's law. We want to belong. Now, is there a business element of it too? Absolutely. And so the responsibility there is not to demonstrate that we've got, I see marketing pieces go out, X dollars for this. And it's like, no. It's like, we're selling ourselves out. And what I'd say to leaders out there is you're better than that. You're better than that. And by the way, there are agents in your marketplace that are paying more at another company and it baffles you? Well, because they're getting a better return. There's a better experience there. So, that's truth. Everyone can get a better deal. So right now, if you're in a situation where you're looking at trying to recruit agents, I can't get split agents to come to a fee company, or I can't get a fee agent to come to a split company, or the cap people, or this or that. And I'd say this, the beautiful thing is look in the mirror and go through a little bit of self-appreciation and say, but wait a minute, all of these people here, okay, all of these people here with me, they're not leaving. I'm doing something right. Because I'll guarantee you someone's offering them a better deal. So, there's times where we need to as a leader. See, as a leader, what you have to do is this. You're responsible for everything that's great. And guess what? Everything has its duality. You're responsible for everything that's not working. So look within your organization. When you're having a challenge going outside your organization to bring people in, see, I believe recruiting is an inside-out job. It really, really is. Look at what you're doing really, really well internally. Extend it externally. Well, that's different. Well, because that's the mindset that you have. See, here's the approach that you need to have. You have two rosters. You have your roster of your existing agents, and you have a roster of your future agents. What would cause me to have a conversation, okay, that's any different? Well, because I'm trying to sell them. Well, let me share some things with you, okay? First of all, this. Everyone on this planet on a daily basis wants something that's better, or they want to buy. They want something different. No one wants to be sold. Everyone wants to buy. Everyone wants something better. No one wants to be sold. Keep that in mind. Take a look at your recruiting call that you're making right now. If you're someone that hasn't started doing the recruiting, or maybe you're doing the passive stuff, and hey, good for you. You're in the game. You're doing some emails. So let me ask you this. Are you transferring value in the communication or is it all about you? I'm so great. We're so wonderful. And if you're with us, you're going to be amazing. And by the way, the fur-lined bird bath in our break room, it'll blow your mind. Now, you may think that I'm a little bit over the top, but it'd blow your mind. I sit in interviews. People inquire and they'll say, once I get in front of people, it's amazing. I'm great. And I'll say, great. Let's talk about how do you get in front of people? What do you say to them? I just go, oh, perfect. Okay. So it's all about creating an experience. And I'm going to go a little bit further than this so we end up, but here's what we have to know. Do you know the most important subject on the planet to human beings? Me, myself, and I. I'm sorry, but it is. You wake up and you make your choices that way. So again, going with human behavior, I don't need a script and a dialogue. You know what I say is this, I get paid to be me. I get paid to be me because you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to interact with another human being. I'm going to interact with another human being based on what's natural. See, the question is, why would we keep fighting human nature? Why would we keep fighting human nature? Now, are there times where there's going to be objections and you need to have some sales skills? Absolutely. But you know what we get to do? We get to abandon the cheesy, outdated stuff, okay? Because, by the way, there's a program running in the back of the head, okay, of the agent that you're trying to recruit. Okay, when are they going to pour it on? When are they going to start feature dumping on me? Okay, so just keep those things in mind. Keep those things in mind. So let's take a look here. That moves us to the next one. So this is number 4 on the list, but number 3 that I've shared with you. Huge fatal flaw. We feature dump on people. We're feature dumpers. I mean, we think that, okay, I've got them for 1 hour, and I'll watch executives or general managers or owners that will do a review. How'd the interview go? And what happened? You didn't tell them about that. You didn't tell them about that. Oh my gosh. Well, I'm really not interested in that, and neither are they. Okay? What did you ask them? What did you ask them? See, we fail when we lead with content. We fail when we lead with content. We must create a context. And I'll define this for many of you that are experienced recruiters, and even some of you that are on this, that are newer recruiters or exploring this. Everyone's had the experience where they had a great interview, okay? Everything went real well, and you go to follow up with them. They're so rude, they don't return my calls. They're so rude, they don't return my emails. I hear it all the time. Well, of course, because the interview was all about you. I mean, hello. Remember, I'm important. It's all about me. You know, I see myself as the hero, and I'm hoping that someone can even make me a bigger hero. I mean, you know, get inside their heads and their hearts. That's what we have to demonstrate. So keep that in mind. Feature dumping is not going to work. It's like overwhelm. Next, where would we like to go next? Oh, this is so beautiful. First of all, because it's not the truth, okay? And secondly, you know, one of the things that you need to know is the current condition of your team or your office is based on the way you hired people. The current condition of your team or your office is based on the way you hire people. And here is a big mistake that takes place in the interview process. And it's a trap. You tell agents you're going to make them productive. Anyone out there have children? I think we've all got some children, right? Okay? Sure. When's the last time they did what you told them to do? I mean, whoa. And then when they get in their 20s and you're a grandpa and all that stuff, people don't do what you tell them to do. You know, one of the mistakes that I think, the big transition, especially for top producers that are building a team as I work with them, is the first thing you need to accept is no one's going to do it the way you do it. That's why you're where you're at, and that's why you're building a team. It was one of the first lessons that I had to learn, okay? Many leaders don't understand that too. We keep going, oh, I've got this new training program, and now we're going to make them more productive with more training, and we're going to do this training. And I'll ask the question, so tell me about your training. It's great. Really, how do you know? Our agents tell us. Awesome. How are you measuring it? Well, they tell us. Okay. So how many people show up? Not too many. Well, you know, you can't manage what you don't measure. You know, a critical piece, and although we're in the recruiting space, I want to give this to you. See, training is just training without accountability. Again, it's content. It's content. It's like we put people under a waterfall with their mouth open, we ask them to drink, and we expect them to sell more real estate. And that's not what it's all about. Let's come back to human behavior. See, you can't make a human being productive. You can't change a human being, and neither can I. And I want to. I want to change everyone on the personal level, because, you know, I know I made some personal changes myself. But here's what I have to accept, and here's what you have to accept. You can only facilitate the best condition for a human being to choose to be productive or choose not to be productive. I'll say it again. You can only facilitate a condition for a human being to choose productivity or choose not to be productive. You can't make someone do something. You can't. Now, can you as a leader bring the best training? Sure. But with that training, you have to get them to make specific, measurable, actionable commitments. See, there's another mistake that we make in leadership, and this all does tie into recruiting, because if we have a thriving team, a thriving organization from the inside out, let me tell you something. This thing, you won't even need to use it, because you'll be a magnet. You'll be an absolute magnet, and I've seen it because of the facilitation of growth that's taken place. So what do we do? And I think that sporting events are a great example. You don't have to be a basketball fan to know this, but Reggie Miller, I think, one game, he played for the Indiana Pacers, and for those that aren't a basketball fan, I mean, he bombs the three-pointers. I think he scored 11 points. And think about this for you personally. Think about this for the people that you lead. Think about how you bring people in and the myth that you think you can make them productive. I'm going to share with you how you can create the greatest opportunity for people to choose productivity. So Reggie scores 11 points maybe in the last minute of a basketball game. That's epic. So let's do the math. See, the question would be, gosh, he should be averaging 48 minutes in an NBA game times, let's call it, my math isn't that great, so I'll just round it 10. Let's call it, he should be scoring 480 points. What happened? He came into the game with a commitment, okay? And it's publicly declared. He's out there in public, right? And there was a deadline with a measurement. And at the end, what's really neat is he either kept the commitment or he didn't. There's no there's no gray. You win or you lose. And see, that's the shift that I want you to get to. And I'm digressing a little bit away from this, but it's so critical because that's the other piece. I see people bring people in, and they just dump training on them. Well, you've got to hold context with human beings. You've got to allow it to be their commitment too. I want you to do 10 million. Someone says, okay, well, you know what? Listen, they're not going to hit it. 9 out of 10 times. Why? Because they don't own it. That was your commitment, not theirs. We've got to understand these things. We've got to understand, too, if we're going to train people before they leave a training environment, we've got to ask them to, each and every one of them, publicly declare, based on what you learned today, what specific, measurable, actionable steps are you going to take? By when? What's going to get in the way? How can I support you? And this is a little bit of help for you guys in growing your capacity, because maybe some of you are at a capacity. So, and it's one of the things you need to do is learn how to have systems that manage people instead of managing people. Because if you come into this growing a team, or you're growing an office, or you're captain in office, if you're captain in office right now, what you're doing is you're operating out of personality. Many leaders tell me I don't have time to recruit. Well, that's avoidance. I had 135 agents in a branch office. See, the beauty is I can talk to it because I did it. I had 135 agents in a branch office, and we did very, very well. Very well. Okay? Went from 1,000 closings to 1,483 closings. I recruited 65 agents. 70% of them were experienced agents. Closings were up 48.3%. The market was only up 13%. I beat the market by 35%. I didn't beat the market because I trained them and they liked me. I beat the market because I recruited, and then because I had people operating in self-directed work groups. So I really want to put some time in that because you can bring people in, but you've got to facilitate productivity. Don't promise it. So here's the interview, what it looks like. What are your expectations? See, when's the last time you asked someone in an interview or on the phone, hey, what are your expectations of a leader? What kind of leader have you responded really, really well to? What kind of leader have you not responded well to, you've had challenges with? So you can measure. You're going to find out right where they're at. Can I share my expectations of you? Okay. Let me ask you this. What's your experience been with accountability? Oh, we can't ask that. No, because we wouldn't be selling and it might push them away. You know what's so beautiful is that recruiting is really simple. It's called the relentless pursuit of the truth. Agents want to join a leader. Agents want to join a leader. They're waiting for a leader to show up. So on that piece, you can't make them productive, but what you can do is hold a context. And then when you hold that context, everything you do, how much by when? Because what happens when they get to the deadline like Reggie Miller did, and he started firing in 11 points, bombs, 11 points in a minute. Well, what happened was there was tension. He had a deadline, and he had a commitment. And so his behavior changed. Commitments with a deadline and a check-in change behavior. Now, there's ways to do this, but that's for a whole nother session. Let's keep moving along here. See if I have any. Check in with everyone that's hanging out here. Great stuff. Oh, thanks, Jody. Josh. You love that old phone, huh? Oh, great content or context. All right, I'll stay on. You can only facilitate the best condition for an individual to be productive, to choose productivity or choose not to be productive. See, one of the things that we're doing in the recruiting process, I hope you're capturing this, I'm culturizing them. Agents don't leave you because of what happened today. Agents leave you based on an expectation that was made in the beginning and wasn't kept today. Well, John, things change all the time. Sure. So that's why in the interview process, you ask an agent this. Hey, do you have a family? I do. Do you guys have dysfunction? They'll start laughing because it's the truth. Yes. Awesome. We have dysfunction at ABC Real Estate too. See, I'm culturizing. I'm not selling. And you know what? My competition is working on the newest, trickiest script that they've mastered. And they're in the same barrel of monkeys of every other manager that's using that crap. And you know what? I'm coming with the truth. Wow, how refreshing. Guess what? We have our dysfunction, but let me share with you what we're looking for. We're looking for people that are committed to the whole. See, here's what we believe. So then I'm going to talk to the vision, okay? We believe that the part serves the whole, and it's bigger than me. I serve the whole, but here's what we know. Every individual will get back tenfold. Is that the type of organization you want to be a part of? Connect with humans, not the split, not the deal, not the fee. And it's not theory, it's proven. And it's comfortable because it's true. True. You know, if it's someone joining your company from another company, you know, are you looking, you know, if you make a choice, are you looking to make this be your last stop? I am. Good, because we are looking for people that are committed to a long-term business relationship. So I want to make sure before you make this choice that you're committed to that. See, here's what I'm doing. I am creating a principle-based agreement so that when I get into challenging spots, see, here's the thing. Can you right now, in your current condition of your office, go back and revisit the agreement system with them? And then listen, if they want to break that agreement or if something changes, that's no big. Listen, no problem. No problem. And by the way, remember this one. It's not how you say hello, it's how you say goodbye. It is not how you say hello, it's how you say goodbye. I watch leaders blow it. Because you have two choices when an agent leaves you. Them telling everyone when they left, I can't believe I was there that long and John treated me like crap. I guess I know what I really meant to him. That's not going to play well for you. High road. Absolute high road. Okay? And the other part is take responsibility. If you're the leader, they're joining because of you and they're leaving because of you. But you do ask them this. I take full responsibility. If there was anything that I could have done different as a leader, what would it be? What would you do different? Awesome. Well, what I want to do is respect what you feel is best for you and know this. If anything changes over there, the door's always open. And you know what? A lot of agents came back to me and there's nothing more powerful. There is nothing more powerful. Okay? So let's see. I was like check in and see. Oh, Mr. Clevin. Love the old phone. Or no, oh no, that's Keen. Okay, that's a different. I thought it was Clevin. Okay. Awesome. Good. Okay, so next, let's go to Tim always scolds me. He's back there running the camera and stuff. You know, see, even if I get a checklist in front of me, I just go all over the place because I kind of love this. It's the best. Let's see. Oh, this is beautiful. So listen, stop telling people you make them productive. But what you can say is, here's what I'll promise you. Because I haven't worked with you before, and I don't know your commitment level. But I can share this with you. People that have worked with me within our system and have committed to the process, they've had great success. So you'll choose productivity or you'll choose not to be productive. I'm going to be productive. Perfect. We might be a fit. And that's not playing games. That's the truth. It's the absolute truth. And you know what? You're not setting the trap anymore. Because then it's like, John, you told me I'd be productive. Trapped. Yeah, but you didn't this. And then, you know, it's just downhill from there. It just really, really is. Okay? So, oh, I love this one. Here's what you're doing. So you're working on all these objection handlers and things that come up. And you know, the problem is you're missing the two most critical objections. The two most critical objections. Okay? And they're called sales skepticism and overwhelm. They're called sales skepticism and overwhelm. If you are doing your job and you're calling other agents, I mean, it should be, hi, John, I mean, caller ID. Caller. Hi, John. I know why you're calling. Not interested. All right, cool. Just doing my deal. And there's a question I pose to leaders that are in the game, and for those that are getting into the game of recruiting, is always ask yourself this. It's a really good question. It's profound. Does everyone that I want to hire, does everyone that I want on my team know? Have I expressed, have I demonstrated to them that I want them on my team? Have I expressed to them that I want them? Does every single person know that I want to hire them? And many times people don't. They just don't. Well, we were always advertising. We're always this. And no. Okay? Sales skepticism and overwhelm. So what do? See, what I would do, my suggestion to you, whether it's on an interview or it is on the phone call, I will give you an exercise. Okay? I want you to write down every objection you've ever faced. Okay? And then what I want you to work on is this. It's one of the things I work on people with. I want you to create the dialogue where you're going to handle it in advance. Why fight human nature? Why fight human nature? Think of every single objection that you're going to hear. Every single one. And handle them in advance. Don't live in avoidance. Beautiful. People respect you for it. Boy, I hope they don't go down the commission split. Bring it on. Let's talk commission split. Come on. Let's talk fee. They're going to give you this much on that. You know what? They're an excellent company. By the way, that's another one, not on my list. I think my list is like 100. Don't fall into the talking about the other broker trap. Just don't. I mean, really, it's just so low. If you need to talk about in your recruiting process the competition, then you need to look in the mirror and you need to work on your skills. I just think it's so low budget. It has nothing to do with an agent joining you. It's all about you and your leadership. And what's interesting, it's a trap. And I don't mean the agent is setting a trap for you, but here's what happens. If an agent starts complaining to you and, I don't know if I like it there. Oh, I understand. I hear that a lot. Well, then the agent's going to step back and say, oh, wait a minute, though. You're kind of calling me dumb because I'm still there. Just be smart. Just don't go there. And if someone wants to go down that path, say, you know something? I respect other leaders. I respect your organization. Our time together is about the one thing that matters, you and your business. It'll go miles because the other 4 broker, owner, managers, recruiter, other 3 out of 4, they're going to capitalize on that. Oh, it's like blood in the water and sharks. You don't need to do that. It's all about, demonstrating that I am the most valuable business proposition in the marketplace that can create an experience for their life, okay, better than it is if they choose to be productive, right? So what do? When we're talking to people, we need to make promises that we're not going to sell them. That's bait and switch. No, it's not. It's not bait and switch. It's the truth unless you cross the line. Why are you going to do that? Well, for 2 reasons. Number 1, maybe over time you'll see value in the interaction. Okay? Or number 2, if something changes at your current space you're in, I want to be your first choice. I want to be your destination broker. I want to be your destination team. See, and you just make these deposits, and you make these deposits. Well, John, I need to close. Knock yourself out. Keep closing, and I'm going to share something with you. And the good thing is this is again, I've been fortunate to work with brilliant people. I learn a ton from them, and I say this, I've just hung around a long time, and I really like the numbers. So I'm going to share a number with you. I've surveyed managers twice now, 1,000 leaders that recruit, and I asked them this question. How many contacts on average in some way, shape, or form does it take before an experienced agent, okay, decides to make a move? How many contacts on average does it take for an experienced agent to make a move? 14. Oh, so let's go back to human behavior. Well, I've got this new script and this postcard, and I'm going to prove the numbers wrong. Knock yourself out. Listen, they'll let you know. Believe me, they'll let you know. But here's what you're doing. If you go into the interview and you're just, okay, I've got to close them because I'm going to go back to the GM and say, but did you tell them about the new marketing department? You forgot to tell them. It's like, please, no. Find out the 3 things that are most important to them that can make a dramatic change in their life 12 months from today. I mean, it's so simple. I mean, it really is. You know, we go beyond 3s and we get to the points of diminishing returns. Human behavior. I mean, it's just so simple. I mean, I'm not that sharp of a dude. I'm just really not. I mean, I look at human behavior. Okay? So, you know, you dumped on them. You know, we're so great, they don't return your calls. Let me take that a little bit further too. I had 250 broker owner managers in a room. I had 500 in a room. I had another 10, 20, different times throughout the past couple of years. And I said, you know, when a real estate agent wakes up every single morning, is the first thing they think of, man, I wonder what the splits are over there. I wonder if I get 100 postcards or a Facebook ad over there. No, no. You know, the first thing they're thinking is, man, I need to get my arms around this Facebook ads platform. I need to get my email drip campaign down. My open houses are empty. And I hear all these people nailing it, you know, in their open houses. You know, that's the cool thing is I work with agents and I work with leaders and I ask them these questions and they tell me, you're right. That's what's most important to them. And you may say to me, well, John, then I need to tell them how to do that and how we can do it over here. Stay with me. I'll come back to that. Okay? So, brings me right into it. Perfect. Your approach is irrelevant. Your phone call is irrelevant. Your interview is irrelevant. Your follow-up is irrelevant. We've got to meet our audience, whether it's the consumer, it's buyers or sellers. Marketing 101, human behavior 101, meet them in the conversation that they're having, okay? And here's what I would say in the recruiting thing. You're on the right subject, the wrong conversation. I'll say it again. You're on the right subject, okay? Wrong conversation. And what I mean by that is this, you may say, well, but John, they want to do open houses and we've got mega open houses, or they want to get FSBOs and we're the FSBO killers. Hey, you come over here, you'll be a FSBO killer. Sell. I mean, we all have, think about it, you guys. When's the last time you went to, you know, a shoe store or you go on the car lot? Hey, can I help you? Just looking. That's called an unconscious program. Real estate agents aren't the same? Of course. Of course. Human behavior. Don't fight it. So what does, you know, what is relevant? What is relevant is this. How can that agent get more people to their open house? How can that agent convert better on for sale by owners expired listings? What if you sat down with them for 30 minutes only, 30 minutes for a cup of coffee, and handled the objection in advance, which is used on a daily basis? And I hear people, well, I can't do that. Fine, don't do it. Don't get the results that people get. I'm being a little bit tough, but you know what? It's an interesting thing. You know, I find everyone wants the truth, and you give them the truth, and you're a bad guy. He's a jerk. Well, okay. I mean, all right, the truth. But here's the deal, and that's okay. You know, I'm just not going to change for that. I'm going to stick with the truth. Okay. So what you need to do is you need to approach, okay, the right conversation. You're there with the subject. They want more business, but how often have you, and I know the experienced recruiters here can chime in, and I can say it without even looking, with all the risk in the world. The percentage of experienced agents, and an experienced agent would say it too, the percentage of experienced agents that haven't been fired by their leader, that have escrows and listings, you think they're going to sit down and just be so impressed by your interview, they're just going right by leaving? No way. No way. Change scares the daylights out of people. How am I going to let my clients know what's going to happen with my listings? What's going to happen with my sales? So, but I needed to, and stay with me because this is where the real breakdown is, okay? But I needed to let them know, and if I just let them know, they'd be convinced, okay? Well, and then you go to follow up with them, and you built no context. But my leaders don't go there. They make deposits. They sit down and ask them about the most important thing, them and their business. They discover what are the 3 areas of their business they see the greatest opportunity for growth in 2017 over the next 12 months. They ask questions which cause someone to pause and to self-discover and self-reflect. They ask them what they've been doing, what actions they've applied towards those things that have worked, what hasn't worked, what do you think you need to do differently. I'm talking about brand new green managers, 1 year in real estate, going and recruiting 95 agents that are productive, because all you've got to do is move a human being to self-discovery. See, I don't have answers for anyone. I have the words that go in and the questions go in to facilitate self-discovery. And then unconsciously a human being ties that to you. It's really, really simple. And then when that interview ends, you don't close them unless they start asking you. Because remember, why are we going to go against the numbers? But you need to close. Knock yourself out. Not the sharpest guy, but I've hung around for a while. Worked with some pretty successful people. I mean, okay? The hardcore close ain't gonna fly. See, you know, can you hardcore close? I mean, listen, you don't want to be just slam. You need to look at it this, you know, you need to, this is my business. I'm gonna just move my business immediately? No. So here's the person that wins. The person that asks questions about their business that their current leader isn't asking them. Thought-provoking questions. When they get the opportunity to go into features and benefits, they don't talk about here's what we do at our company. They do the most impactful thing on the planet. They tell stories that are real and about another human being. When they find out an area that an agent wants to grow, an agent's doing Facebook ads, that wants to do Facebook ads and they're not productive in it, and they see that as a great opportunity in their business. They did 20 million, but they think they can grow if they do that, and they failed at it. They've spent thousands. And right there you say, you know, can I tell you a story about Sean, who was in that same spot? Here's where he was. Here are some of the steps he took. Here's what happened, and here's where he's at today. I didn't say, well, at our company, we do this. I mean, it's the subtleties. It's the subtleties. And by the way, call Sean. Check with him. You know, we have an abundant environment, and so our agents understand co-opetition. Co-opetition, the hole's bigger than the part. You just tell stories that are real and that are true because people resonate with stories. Instead of, well, we've got this, we've got that. And you know what happens with the we've got this and we've got that? You create a science project for the agent, okay? And it just all becomes confusing, and they're sitting there playing with numbers. And whereas I'm going to come in, I'm just going to demonstrate value. Or one of the leaders that I work with is going to come in and demonstrate value. They're going to ask them thought-provoking questions about their business that makes them look at it in a way they never thought. And they're going to allow them to sit there and do the equations and say, if you do this, this, and this, what would happen for your business? And if the person doesn't want to join, then that's fine, because then what they are going to ask them is this. See, the antiquated recruiter is going to say, well, so you're ready? You want to pick out your desk? And that's perfect. Let them keep doing it. Okay. What we're going to do is say, you know, based on what we've talked about today in those 3 areas, I'm going to check back with you in about 4 or 5 days or 7 days, whatever it may be. What 3 action steps do you want to commit to for me to check in? See, because I'm your leader now. I don't say that, but that's what's going on. I'm your leader. I'm not a cheesy salesman. I'm just not. You know, and one other tip too, and you know, again, I have this problem of calling it like it is. You know, stop going to lunch, because last time I checked, you know, I don't know how well you do with food in your mouth, but I don't know how that meeting's working out. Number 2, it'll save on your expenses. Number 3, okay, you can have a crisp, productive meeting. And if you want productive people, okay, you can have a crisp, productive meeting, toe-to-toe, knee-to-knee with someone having coffee for 30 minutes. Because here's the other part, when you start making calls, when you start calling agents and wanting to do an interview with them, hey, let's meet, the first thing I think is, oh, that's half my day. You got to know these things. You know what? Let's have a cup of coffee for 30 minutes. Let's talk about the most important thing on the planet, you and your business. Why would you do that? A couple reasons. Okay? Maybe something changes. I want to be your destination broker. Maybe you see value in our interactions. I'm happy where I'm at. I know. You open-minded? I am. Good, let's meet. No. I don't know. Always made sense for me to sit with competition. I mean, that's the other. Listen, and someone's going to, that's pushy. No, it's not. It's the truth. It's not pushy. It's the truth. I want to be a champion. And I will promise you this. You know, it's so interesting in our business. People, we're in a low margin business. No, we're in a low recruiting business. Truth. Because I know P&Ls. I generated profits. We're in a low recruiting. We avoid recruiting. We do. Period. And the people that do recruit, okay, and the people that hire people on principle and they acknowledge them, they have an acknowledgement system in place, okay? They enroll their agents in the growth process. They don't have to even pay them. You don't have to pay people. When people feel that they are part of community, they're going to do everything and anything. Because you brought them in on the on the internal decisioning process. They discovered on their own, and in human condition is this, when someone makes an internal decision, they're going to defend it till they die, and they're going to tell other people about it. In the external decisioning process, that's where a lot of buyer's remorse comes in. That's where people that said they were going to join you, in the last minute, you've all been there. And I learned it the hard way. When you sold them and they just, nope, I can't come. You know why? Because they didn't self-discover. You sold me. Great job selling them. But I know it all the time. I hear the stories over and over. I ordered they're a jerk. I ordered their cards. I ordered their sign. They told us. I told our agents. Well, you know, shame on you. What'd you learn? I mean, it's just simple stuff, you guys. They take action. We have a drip campaign. We acknowledge what they're doing. If they're doing an open house, we go visit them. We check in with them. We don't send them, we're the wonderful, we're the best. We send them a business building tip because I'm going to have higher level contact in automated systems with my prospects, just like I would the consumer, okay, of transferring value, of news they can use. And you know what I get to do? I get to check in. Hey, I sent you something pretty cool. What'd you think? What are you currently doing in that area? How's it working for you? I have a competent conversation. It's the same as the one that I have with my agents over here. Okay? Oh, here's the biggie. Lack a career-specific online environment. Agents are online consumers too. They don't want to meet with you. And you know what else? And here's the good news. I have since, 9-10 years, Tim? Thousands of recruiting websites, almost every single brand, with a complete CRM back behind it. I wrote it. It's my program, okay? And so, you know, the really, really good news, I do A/B model testing. Agents will bounce off a career tab on a company showcase website. What was it, 1 minute and 30 seconds, Tim?
Probably less, more like 30.
Okay, 30 seconds. See, everyone needs to have a smart guy, okay? A guy that can run the technology. An agent will bounce off your typical career tab on a company showcase website in 30 seconds. They will stay on a career-specific central website for 4 minutes and 30 seconds. Now, here's the thing that's very interesting to me. We have these consumer-based websites, but we don't have career-based websites. And anyone can build one. You can do something with WordPress. This isn't the shameless plug for me. I saw where the hole was, so I built the software. But I just want to share with you. I mean, think about it. What does as you're sitting here right now, what does we're the human resource, human development, human attraction. We have an elevator asset because you know something? Your asset goes home on the elevator and it doesn't have to come back. That's the asset. And so if that's the most valuable asset, what is our online presence where they can snoop? See, we want an audience. Well, listen, we want them to stalk us. Everyone's a stalker. I mean, they just, but you know, what are you doing to create an online environment where, see, people choose based on an experience of you. What are you doing in every avenue possible to create an experience, okay, of what it's going to be like when they join, before they join. I'll say it again, and this is recruiting 101, period. You can abandon every script, dialogue whatsoever, and you stay true to this principle. Create an experience of what it's going to be like when they join, before they join. But our culture is great. Perfect. Sell me it. You can't sell me culture. You can't. Well, but John, we do holiday party. You can't sell me it. I have to feel it. And the only person that can extend that experience is me and my interaction with the people that I'm trying to recruit. And feature dump ain't going to do it. You can't get away with feature dump and have real good growth and real good profitability. Okay? So lack of a career-specific website or online environment. This one really brings it into perspective, I think. Imagine this. You've got your debit card and you're taking it to the bank, okay? And you're going to put it into the ATM machine. And this is beautiful, you guys. I mean, what I would say, because I know there's many real estate agents on here, I would have your, put your socks up, John. I would have your real estate agent shoe over here and your leader shoe over here. The principles are universal, period. We're all in the enrollment business, okay? See, what we're doing, it's like people, I throw stuff on Facebook. Facebook doesn't work. Yeah, because you're showing up to the cocktail party, the social environment, and you're running up to people. And think about this. You're running up to their face. Hi, I'm John, sell a house. I mean, hello. Ding, ding. Don't be that guy. I mean, you've got to warm up your audience. You've got to do things, a market snapshot. Okay? Give people market data. Position yourself. Do community stuff. And we've got results, direct results from people doing it. You got to warm up the audience. Here's the deal. Go to that bank account tonight that you haven't put any money in. Pull your ATM machine card out. Okay? Put it in there. How much money are you going to pull out? Zero. That's why people fail in recruiting. You haven't made a deposit in the business relationship equity account. You haven't made a deposit in the business relationship equity account. Write these three down. Number one is making deposits in the business relationship equity account. Let's come back to good old human behavior. And it's the same in the online environment. Working with agents that are killing it doing this stuff. Okay? Number two, there's a law called fair exchange. The law of fair exchange in human beings is, you do something for someone, they feel good about doing something back in return. See, all we want is an audience. We want time. And that has value. And so if I make a deposit, I feel also too, because here's the biggest thing that leaders share with me very humbly and transparently, they don't make enough calls. Sure, because they're afraid. So, no, I'm busy. No, it's not the truth. I mean, listen, because if you can recruit agents, you're going to get the highest return, period. And I'm not saying ignoring your other people. You got to run the best sales meeting. I'm talking about a rockin' sales meeting that's so good that your people that don't attend, you call them up and say, hey, listen, I'm committed to a good sales meeting. I delivered a good one. We missed you. I'm committed to delivering a good one next week. Will you be there? That's leadership. Agents don't like sales meeting. Really? Well, you know what? People didn't like the New Orleans Saints when they were 0-16 either. People go where the value is. No one shows up for training. Well, I'd inspect my training. Well, agents don't like training. Really? Well, okay. I mean, and listen, I'll bring it strong, but it's true. It's so true. And if you'll capture these things and you'll inspect yourself and take a look at these things, everything's going to change. You have no competition. You don't. You've got that person you look at in the mirror and say, let's go. Let's go. Okay? You've got to make deposits in the business relationship equity account. So what does that look like in recruiting? If you're a top producer, man, listen, you're positioned so well. You're positioned so well. People know you. I'm going to tell you that they're going to be honored to meet with you. Okay? They want to be like you. I'm sorry, they just do. Well, I shouldn't apologize. You should say, yes, good, they should want to be like me, right? No one wants to be like me because it's a lot of work being me. So if I'm a top producer and I've got a team, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make 12 tips to having a productive open house, 12 tips to packing your open house. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to send that to agents. I'm going to give them every single one of my tips. Every single one. I can't do that. I've got secrets. That one. Come on. You've got secrets. Really? Wow. Let's just get honest with each other. Stop. No, you don't. No, you don't. See, here's the thing, and I figured this one out a long time ago, okay? Oh, wow, everyone goes to a seminar, gets all the information, says they're going to take action, and they don't take action. Then they go to another one, and then what they end up doing, they end up having to hire a coach, because that's the only way they'll take action. Are you running with me? Get it? See, coach, train, lead the competitors, agents, make deposits, sit down with them, give them all your tips. Hey, how are you currently doing in this space? If you're a top producer, you're money. Just ask questions at what you're very good at that someone might be struggling with. Hey, can I sit down with you and share with you what we do? Why would you do that? A couple reasons. Maybe you'll see value and want to join. If something changes in the future. Well, I don't buy that. That's fine. That's called scarcity. Scarcity. There's this thing called abundance. People talk a lot about abundance, but if you do it, I'm going to tell you something. You go out there and demonstrate your value. That's what you do. If you're a broker, owner, manager, what do you need to do? You need to ask agents questions about their business, find out where their challenges are, and then deliver them tips. You run training all the time. Do little 3-minute videos on how to do this, how to do that. Send them emails of business building tips with no calls to action. They used to say this, it never hurts to ask. Well, you know what? Nowadays, sometimes it hurts to ask. You need to pick your spots. You need to pick your spots. Okay? You just really, really do. So here's what happens. So now I lead with a business plan. I lead with a sphere of influence analyzer tool. I lead with a time money assessment tool. I lead with something an agent can look at and say, whoa, a competitor's broker is giving me this. A top agent's giving, how nice of them. And then the next day I'm going to say, hey, did you get the thing about the thing? Let's have coffee. I've invoked the law of fair exchange. I've invoked the law of reciprocity. The feeling of an obligation to give me something in return, that's time. And you know what? It would probably make sense if I've given them something that demonstrates value, okay? And I've made a deposit in the business relationship equity account. I don't need a magical script. Hey, did you get the thing about the thing? Well, we should talk more about it, shouldn't we? Yeah. Do you want to grow your business? I mean, I could be so casual with it. And I'm not dumbing it down, but I want you to capture this, okay? It's real. It's just going with the flow. Hey, just keep giving them deposits. And if they don't give you the time of day, no problem. Because you keep doing it, and you know what? Someday their leader's going to slip up. Hey, I'm that dude that was hanging out in second place. I'm ready for you. But we don't stick to the system, and that takes me to the next place. Okay? Absolutely zero follow-up system. And so I hope what you've captured so far from me is that this recruiting mirrors lead generation and lead conversion of buyers and sellers. Just does. Just does. I'm watching agents make deposits of value and goodwill in the marketplace. I mean, one agent just sent me a text. They got 8 transactions off something that didn't even have a call to action. That was a deposit into the marketplace. Positioning themselves with the most powerful medium video on the most powerful platform, Facebook. See, because the sales process today is encroached on the marketing process is encroached on the sales process. And what do I mean by that? Before, the consumer needed us back here. Now they don't. They feel they really only need us here. And so really what our sales process is becoming is being the information portal. Being sophisticated and consistent. Because a lot of human beings aren't consistent. So if we're consistent and we provide people the information. You see, and that's what I'm going to do in the recruiting process. I'm going to give you sophisticated, consistent information. And there's going to come a point that I know that I'm going to pass up your leader. And I don't need to talk about your leader. I really don't want to. I respect them. Anyone step in a leadership role, what I want to talk about is your business and allow you to self-discover that I'm really committed to you. Because I popped in an open house and your leader never has. I'm methodical. I'm clear. I get a report of your production for the week, and I sit down in my office for 40 minutes because I should prospect. I want my agents to prospect, right? I should too, right? I want my agents to, you know, stay in touch with the consumer, keep the consumer happy for future business. I should do that too with my prospects. Simple, same. You don't know running a branch. I ran a branch, 1,400 closings. That was a couple. I get it. So, you know, it's easy for the guy to sit here and say that when they haven't done it. I walked your path. I have. Okay? I get it. And that's where we move into learning how to grow your capacity, how to build a culture, an inclusionary process, a spirit of volunteerism, pairing people up with accountability partners in between, having an organization that's based on commitment, not goals, because a goal is a good idea, a commitment's measured by the result. A goal is a good idea, commitment's measured by the result. So there's a lack of a follow-up system. Stands to reason we should have an automated drip email program that measures who's opening it. And when we see traffic of someone continuing to open our emails, we can see their digital body language interacting with them on Facebook. We can see as they become warmer and warmer, and we can accommodate the appropriate conversation based on that. That's the beauty of our online world. That's the beauty of having systems that are in place. And they'll open emails. Email's powerful. I've got clients that are on this right now that are sending tons of email, getting great results from it. And here's the final. Oh, before I give you the final, Tim, I don't even have the picture of it, do I? I don't. Well, first of all, I want to thank all of you. I hope, you know, again, I know your time is valuable, and yeah, that thing. Hey, sneak in here. Oh, you're gonna. Ah! That's all right. I'm too old to get at my hip, man. I'm getting old. I have a treat for you, and this is it. This is the ultimate recruiting blueprint right here. See, I'm making deposits in the business relationship equity account. Caught that? Anyways, true. Walk the talk. So, this is the ultimate recruiting blueprint. Okay? If you will go to, and I'm going to type it in right now for you. It is cheplaklive.com/blueprint. Okay. And I'm going to play around here in Facebook Live with all you. Tim, how am I on time? Did I go over like I'm supposed to not do?
You're at 1 hour 10.
Gosh, I got problems, huh? cheplaklive.com/blueprint. Got to keep the smart guy close to me. Okay, let's see how that goes. So, ladies and gentlemen, I have, is that in the, someone could just chime in and let me know that they have the, that link is there for the download of the blueprint. Could someone, let's see, okay. Oh, maybe it's going to be at the top. You guys see the link for the blueprint there, cheplaklive.com. Okay, good, awesome. So click on that link. It's sitting there for you. I'm trying to think if there was anything else important. Yeah, got a secret Reese's back here. What do I want to leave you with? Oh, so let me close this out, and we'll go back to number one. This is the most critical one to really capture, and you'll find that it all just really crosses over. There's 3 ways to sell someone. Tell them you're great. Someone else tells them you're great, or demonstrate your greatness. You know, it's challenging to memorialize scripts, dialogues, what to say when, and I work with people a lot on that. And this isn't the the sell part of it. I do, and it's a part of it. But I think what is really neat is this. What I would challenge you, if you're just a real estate agent or someone that's just passed through, or not even in our industry, and you're watching this, is the really cool thing is when you get paid to be you, and that's what I think I try and do every single day. Stop trying to be who you're not. Grab skill sets, question everything that you're told by testing it, but make it you. Make it you. So the final thing is this: go out there and just demonstrate your greatness in a spirit of abundance. I'm in a for-profit business. I do a lot of stuff. You know what? I'm so detached from the outcome, but I am clear on the process, and you can't lose no matter where it is in life. If you attach to the process, sure, you've got to have, I do budgets, performance, projections. We've got to have a number, okay? We're clear. That's where we're going. Perfect. Boom. Unconscious mind. You got it. Now, let's backfill. Let's reverse engineer this thing. What have I got to do every single day? Every single day. And you just stay true to it. The challenge is are there times we need to revision? Yes. But it's these reactions that people have instead of responding to the situation because they're so emotionally attached to the outcome. I'm telling you, be clear, make commitments, go with the flow, demonstrate your greatness. And I think I've covered everything. Oh, so any of you that are downloading the Ultimate Recruiting Blueprint, I have also... Okay, good. Awesome. Good. So I've even got some more for you. Hey, you guys, and I didn't even ask you guys hitting that love button. Show me some love. Thanks. I've also done something else for you because you may look at it, and I remember when I was a young buck trying to raise my family, and then our daughter had a health condition on top of it, and we were living with our mother-in-law, and that stuff you go through when you're young and in the real estate business, and because I couldn't have a real job because I'm unemployable like the rest of you. That's why you're in real estate. Did you know that? You're just unemployable. That's the deal. I am really unemployable. That's why I had to come be a coach. No, I do it because I love working with humans, man, and facilitating change. So what I've done, because this can be overwhelming, and I'll tell you this, and I sat in the meeting years ago, and I still hear it today. It's the most important thing on the planet, and yet it's the least applied because people avoid it because it's not a part of our native skill sets. But if you master that craft of recruiting, can't be touched. Can't. Parachute into any city, parachute anywhere. Because if you come to understand, it's about being a leader and pulling people to you, okay? It's about connecting with people, not with all this other stuff. You want to cut money deals? They'll leave you because of money. Don't worry. You want to promise leads? No problem. You'll never have enough leads. You'll get into the lead tangle. See, do you want to hire lead generators or lead consumers? And you know what? Everyone wants leads. Well, you know what? A good leader is going to sit down with someone and educate them on the longevity. And if you're a leader and you've got a team, I'm going to guess you busted your butt to get there. I'm going to guess there weren't any hand-me-downs for you. And I'm not saying it's bad to give people leads. But you know what? There's nothing more powerful than developing a human being. See, if you're a team leader right now, what I'd say to you, your responsibility, so you can have a real big picture, isn't how big you can get, isn't all the profits you can make, it isn't all that crap. You know what it is? It's how you can transfer your skill set over to that next person down so they can have the experience you've been able to have and make them better than you ever were. Because what else? At the end of the year, I did 50 bajillion. Who cares? Really. Who really cares? You know what really matters is how you contribute back to human beings. And as a top producer that's building a team, what a great opportunity. Just to frame that for you. Leaders of a branch office, that's a responsibility you have too. Grow human beings. But gosh, team leaders, here's what I'd say to the team leaders right now today. You know what? Here's the only thing that you need to think about when you go to work every day. How am I going to replace myself today? That's your business plan from me. And I work with some good teams. What am I going to do to replace myself? And you know what's really cool? To replace ourselves? Sure, we got to recruit, but you know what we have to do? We have to build the skill sets of human beings. We have to transfer our skill sets to other humans. And you know what? It's our responsibility, because there have been many, many generous people that have passed their skill sets on to us. Okay? So beyond the blueprint, there are 3 training videos I go into in the first training video. I don't know, what are they, about 4 or 5 minutes, Tim? Yeah, just little ones. I go into a little bit on the call, and then the second training video that you'll get is on the interview, and then the third interview goes into the importance of the follow-up system. So you're going to get the download. You're going to get 3 training videos, and if you're here, you know where I'm at. If there's anything I can do to serve you, let me know. I will keep the conversation. If anyone's got any questions, we're in real estate because we're unemployable. So it's the truth. Yes. You bet, Ann. You're welcome. You're welcome, Midori. Thanks, Ryan. Good to see you here. Catherine. Patrick. Good. Thanks, Nassim. Glad you made it here. Digital body language. That's it. It's everything. It'll tell you what to do, how to interact with humans. Excellent. No holds barred deposits. Great for the butt kick. Thanks, Connie. Hey, Daniel. Good to see you. Co-opetition, baby. Interdependence, Mark Martin. I can't cover it all, buddy. Dependence, interdependence, and independence. Or are you a family style leader, a visionary style leader, okay, or a standard style leader? Because whatever style leader you are will dictate the type of agent you have. And so that's part of the exercise we go through too. The other broker crap, just don't. I love that. Well, Callie, you know how it goes with me. It's just kind of call the truth. Culturizing the deadline. Awesome. Good. Well, I'll shut that up. Thank you all for your time. Again, I hope you guys had value. Till next time. Peace.